What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing the first oil change on my 2018 Camaro 1LE. Here's the car right here. Shares the same 6.2 liter engine as the regular SS. The car has 1,500 miles on it now, which is what they recommend to do the first oil change at. I'm also going to be doing the rear differential fluid, so I will show you how to do that as well. Pretty standard, nothing too fancy about it. The one thing to note about this car is that it takes 10 quarts of oil. I didn't find that out until after I bought it, so got to stretch your pockets a little bit more to do an oil change on these cars. But otherwise, see how it goes. I'll show you what I'm working with. I decided to go with Royal Purple. I've used that in the past and had a lot of luck with it. Standard 5W30 full synthetic. I know 5W30 is what they recommend for these cars. Some people use 540, some people use 040. I like 530, you know, it's a pretty standard oil. And the car is 99% street driven, so I don't need any extra heat protection for track use or anything. This is the diff fluid. I stuck with the AC Delco for that. It's 7590. Has the limited slip friction modifier already mixed in with it. For an oil filter, I went with Royal Purple. That's the part number there for anyone that needs it, 10-48. So, of course, the oil filter tool as well. So, let's get started. Now that I have the car up in the air, you can get a better view. The drain plug, it's a 15 millimeter. It's on the passenger side of the oil pan. Pop that off. I bought this storage container here from Ocean State for $5 because I didn't have a drain pan big enough to catch the 10 quarts. As you can see, it's quite a bit of oil. So the oil filter is actually on the driver's side of the car. So after I put the plug in, I'll move back to the driver's side and pop the filter off. Two other tips I wanted to point out. I always like to pull the oil cap off the motor before I unscrew the drain plug. Just feel like it provides a little better ventilation to let the oil drain out. Here's the oil cap here. The other thing, not required, but I know a lot of guys do it, is they'll take a quart of comparable oil to what they're going to be filling the motor with. In this case 5W30, and they'll actually pour it into the motor before they put the drain plug back on the oil pan. It just kind of cleans things out a little more thoroughly, particularly anything that might be left on the bottom of the oil pan, to the point where all you'll see coming out from the drain plug is fresh oil. Once all that is drained out, you can then put your drain plug back in. Alright guys, I'm jumping ahead a little here, but as you can see, I got the Royal Purple filter installed onto the engine. GM was kind enough to make this nice and easy to access for us. No shields or anything like that you have to remove to get to it. When possible, I like to fill up the new filter with fresh oil before I install it on the motor, so that's what I did in this case. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to lower the car down, fill it up with the Royal Purple, and that'll be it for the oil change. Alright guys, so I just topped off the motor with 10 quarts of Royal Purple. It took all 10 quarts. I just wanted to show you something. I actually installed a JLT oil catch can on this car with about 500 miles on it. So I'd say I have 1,000 miles of street driving on this car since I put the catch can on. And I've really been pretty easy, only a few wide open throttle pulls, nothing too crazy. So here it is here. It actually mounts right to the engine brace over here. But I unscrewed the bottom canister just to empty it out. Wasn't really expecting much to be in there, but to my surprise, look at this. After 1,000 miles of easy driving, it already collected that much oil. So anyone who's having second thoughts about putting a catch can on their car, I recommend do it now, sooner than later, because it will make a messier motor. all that stuff will end up running right back into the intake, which after time will cause a buildup on the valves and you'll ultimately lose power. So that's it for today. I'm actually not going to change the diff fluid because I decided I want to get a couple 100 miles more of driving in, maybe beat on the car a bit more to, you know, really get the brake in, if you know what I mean. So I think at about 2,000 miles, I'll do the diff and I'll make a separate video for that. All right, thanks for watching.